I wanted to present something without being a technical presentation, without being something very detailed about models, but something that shake also the minds and the market, bringing probably a wider view of what is facility management. We've been, I think, over 22 years working on facility management. I have no social life, but I have facility management, so I always say that the day I die, I think the people from associations and clients and friends will bring some flowers to my grave, so that will make me happy enough. So we had to explain about facility management to many people in many areas, in many countries, in many environments, with different levels of maturity. So we came out with a way to explain FM, thinking FM as a universe. I'm not going to, tomorrow we will go into more detail about contents, but today I just wanted to have a brief introduction of 2 minutes of what is FM and how we should perceive it. FM has a strong theoretical base. FM is you can see FM as you want, as you can see any other discipline as you want, but FM has a theoretical base with definitions and models and standards and a history of how it's FM. But also, facility management has to be translated into a client. Facility management is a support discipline, so every client has their own way to see facility management. And they are not obliged to see it in the same way that you see it. 2 different buildings, 2 different countries, even the same company in different cities can apply facility management with a different perspective. So we have the client side. We have who is receiving the facility management knowledge, let's say. But then we have the people, and when we say people, we say the facility managers. Tomorrow we will talk more about what's a facility manager. I mean, a facility manager, if he's working in a company with 50 employees and he's in charge of everything, has a role. But if the company has 30,000 employees and he's in charge of everything, he cannot do the same thing. So he's specialized, and he will be the space manager, or the energy manager, or the project manager, or the real estate manager. So this facility manager will have a certain role, and their name will change based on how big is the company and what the company is expecting from him or from his team. So this is what we call the FM universe. Within this FM universe, we need to have this knowledge, we need to know what's going on, and we need to digest, and we need to taste things. This I like it, this I don't like it, and we will stay with that this suits for our taste. When we talk about facility management, there are many ways to define it, but we cannot forget that facility management is a discipline. I always use this as a basic level of understanding, because when something is a discipline, it has a level, it has a recognition. If an area of study is a discipline, it means it's important. Why? Why is important? Because the first thing that any area of study should have to become a discipline, it has to be ruled. This means you have to be able to study this on a university. You have an undergraduate level, you have a graduate level. So medicine is a discipline because you study it. Some other areas, some other disciplines are not disciplines. They are simply areas of study. But facility management, it is a discipline. We will talk tomorrow, it's an enterprise discipline, but it is a discipline, and for now it's enough. You also need to be published. A discipline needs to publish, needs to keep moving, needs to keep growing. I mentioned medicine. So medicine is a discipline because it's improving, it's publishing because it has some research involved. None of you will go to a doctor that has not been updated, that they know a new technique for a surgery, a new pill, a new medicine. So all the disciplines need this level of actualization, of updating. So facility management is a discipline. You have many universities where you can study a degree. You have many institutes where you do some research, and obviously you have many means to be published, many newspapers, many magazines, or many web pages like EuroFM, for instance. So when we think of facility management as this discipline, we have to see FM as a bigger thing. Imagine any of the degrees that you have studied. How many of you are engineers or architects or did studies in administration or economics? Imagine that all the time that you spent in your universities studying, wherever you have studied, you spend them studying facility management. Well, facility management is a degree. It's a 4 or 5 year degree, depending on the university. Just to give you an idea how big and how large and how deep can be the level of knowledge. But also think, when you leave the universities, what percentage of the knowledge that you have acquired you really apply in your daily jobs. Some of them maybe not even a 5%, but you had this knowledge. Same happens with facility management. Facility management as a degree gives you a general overview, and then you get specialized, or you narrow your field of application depending on what your company or your client is asking you to do. When we talk about FM, we always see FM focused in a certain area of a client. We always, or many of the times, we think of facility management related with an FM activity in an office building. Facility management is the capability to provide support. This is the title of the presentation. Facility management is capable of providing support to companies. Years ago, about 10 years ago, there was a sentence saying, you company, me facility manager, you no worry. You take care of core business, me take care of everything else. Okay. This was nice 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now we see that facility management is, in some cases, is very near to the core business, whether it could be even half of the core business. But facility management is there to provide support. So the companies, the demanding clients, are asking for support. So what type of companies, what type of organizations are demanding for this type of support? So we have what we call organizations. We have 3 kinds. We have the private companies. Private companies are what we more typically see as FM clients, FM users. But within this level, you have the corporate, but you also have the health sector, a hospital. A hospital is using facility management concepts, of course. But this hospital, this health or this care center is not very close, very near to the core business? Of course it is. So then this sentence that you have said about, you don't worry, me take care of core business, you take care of everything else, is not really applying here, because many of the core activities are so related to what facility management is doing that this does not apply anymore. And it's true. What's happening with retail sector, what's happening with industrial sector, a commercial center. Every square meter of a commercial center, is it not true that is the core business? Are we not taking care of these square meters as part of the FM activity? So then this sentence cannot apply anymore. Facility management, it could be as close as the core business is from FM. And we need to be aware of this. When we sell facility management, when we sell the concept, we cannot use certain sentences anymore. But within this organization, we also have the non-profit organizations, which are not corporate organizations, but their activities are non-profit. Or we can even have the public sector. The public sector is a huge user of some of the services, some of the needs that are provided by the facility management industry. This is more or less known by everybody that we could have FM in these environments. But how about residential? Residentials are buildings, yes. Residentials, they have needs, yes. Is FM ready to provide service? Is FM ready to provide support? Of course. In some mature markets like the Netherlands or the UK, there are some companies specialized in providing facilities services, which is different from facility management, providing facility services to condominiums, to areas, to residential areas. But we also have infrastructure. The public and the private sector are cooperating. They've been cooperating for many years. The private sector has been building roads and train lines and this type of infrastructure for many years. But now, the public sector needs more complex units. A hospital is something more complex than a road. So to maintain the activity, to maintain this hospital active in a proper way, you need a level of definition that is provided by facility management. Definition. But you also have the cities. How many of you have heard of smart grids or smart cities? Smart grids is the relationship between buildings that are in different places and they need lighting or they need cleaning or they need all the smart cities. They are units where my client is not a company, my client is a city. So the concept of smart cities and smart buildings is based on the methodology of facility management. So we are using the knowledge, the concept, the methods to provide support to a client that is not a company. My client is a city. So when we talk about providing support, providing help, which help do we provide? Facility management covers many aspects and many areas. When you study a degree in facility management, you cover many subjects, but not all the subjects are areas of knowledge. I want to present here the 6 main areas of knowledge where you have FM knowledge. And we cannot forget that there are other levels which are not knowledge, but they are tools used in a transversal way, okay? Like procedures, like definitions, etc. On the top of our pyramid, we always have the corporate real estate. This is one of the main areas of facility management. I know that for some of you this could be a shock, because sometimes we say, oh, hold on, real estate is not facility management, and I agree. Real estate is not facility management, but corporate real estate is part of facility management. Real estate is a business where you have to deal with buildings. You sell, you buy, you give some valuations, you rent. And the objective of real estate is making a profit. If I am dealing with your buildings, I'm looking for a profit. When a company has a portfolio of buildings that they use to develop their activities, that is called corporate real estate. I have buildings not to make money, I have buildings to give support to my company. And that is called corporate real estate. And my objective is not to make money out of the buildings. My objective is to guarantee that I have the best portfolio possible for my company, which is the company that I'm serving, which is the company that I'm giving support. If the company owns the buildings, the activities of the real estate will be more. If I am just renting the buildings, these activities of this real estate, which is the corporate real estate, are less, because I just have to pay a rent. But if my company owns the building, I have to make sure that it's not losing value. But my job is not making it to have more value. My job is to provide support to the company because I am in the facility management area. When we talk about asset management, we talk about assets, we talk about those elements that the company needs to provide the activity. These support assets that they need to perform. When we talk about corporate real estate, we talk about buildings. We talk about building assets. When we talk about asset management, we talk about life cycle. If my company has no assets because everything is rented, the activity of the asset management, it will be very little. But if my company owns assets to do whatever they have to do, the activity of the asset management is bigger because I have to maintain this life cycle, I have to analyze the life cycle cost, etc., etc. So asset management is part of the facility management. For many companies, the everyday work implies projects, constructions, changes, moves. For some companies more than for others. So when we talk about corporate project management, we don't want to say that it's not the same that the project management does. If you have a study project management, you have 3 goals: time, quality, and cost. When you work in a facility management department and you do project, the main goal is my company. I have to give support to my company by doing projects. But they have to keep looking at the company. Hello, company, are you okay? Are you happy? Everything okay? A project manager, a traditional project manager goes bang, cost, bang, quality, bang, time. So it's corporate project management because it's a bit different. Obviously, a corporate project manager, a project manager working in an FM department is not going to build a tower or a bridge. They have less or smaller projects. But they have to focus on the organization because facility management is based in providing support to the company. So, do we use a different methodology in project management? Not really. The project management we study within the facility management discipline is very similar. It just had a little bit of touch, thinking that on top of my priorities, it has to be the organization. And it's very strong in change management. Because mostly everything we do within a company will imply some changes, and we need to make the company to digest these changes, the sooner the better. And then we have the workplace. The workplace is everything that is surrounding where the people is working. Workplace is related to space use, as we saw this morning. Ratios. Think of the population. How is my population? What are the generations? Are they millennials? Are they older people? What they want? How they work? Is this space the best space for them? Do they have the items, the elements that they need? Is it the furniture okay? Do I have standardized the furniture? All this is related to workplace. So the activity of managing this workplace and the changes that they have is part of the facility management scope. And also everything to do with energy and sustainability, as we heard. All the activities related with energy, consumption, footprint, water footprint, how sustainable they are, what is the impact, what is the uses of resources. This is a huge area related with facility management. And finally, and as you all guess, everything to do with the facilities services. Everything to do with the operational services. What's the problem? Companies have associated always facility management with facilities services. which it is facility services. But it's not the only thing. Look at how many other things we have. We can include within the facility services area as many things as we want, or as many things as the company needs, or as many things as the company decides that they want to give us. Security. Security is a service. Yeah, operational service. Okay, but I'm not giving it to you. Why? Because I'm going to do it in a different way. Because I'm a bank, and as a bank I decide, and security goes to the security department. But security is a service from FM. Okay, but I don't give it to you. Okay? And we have to respect what the company is deciding. So the number of facilities services that we have within the facility management department is up to the company, up to the client company to decide. And as the facility management department or unit or service or whatever you want to call it, we need to integrate all the needs that the company has decided to give to me and make the best model. But we cannot forget that everything we do is related to support. We have to provide support. We have to help the company with their needs. And the company will say, this is not for you. This, and this is not for you. Why? Because I have decided that the corporate real estate is not for you. Because the finance guy is doing it. And we will cry, oh, come on. It's better for you if you give it to me. I said, no. So we need to convince the company that if we manage these needs, you will have a better model. But in order to do that, we first have to convince the company, say, hey, this, it could be part of my duties, because it's the logical place to be. Same than assets, same than projects. So the company will decide, okay, yes, I give it to you. So they will decide what they give to us as a facility management department. So for us, as an FM department, we have to decide what's the best model. How do I combine all these needs? And look, I'm calling them needs. I'm not calling them services. Because when you call them services, you associate services with operation. How many of you will associate a strategic service? It does not go, you cannot say a strategic service. But if you say services, it goes to operational services, and it goes like all around, operational services. But if we talk about needs, I am covered your needs. I'm providing you support. Then it's easier to say, I'm doing the asset management. Oh, you're doing the asset management. Yeah. I'm doing the corporate real estate. Oh, you're covering my needs. So don't forget, FM as a discipline applies in many environments, not only in office buildings, also in cities, also in industrial sector, also in housing. But also, FM is more than operational services. All the needs that a company could have related to this area, it could be within the FM activities. Because that's what the ISO standards is saying. That's what you study on an FM degree. It's not because we decided, we are going to do this. No, it is ruled. In an FM degree, you study all these things. And finally, when you think about the FM, you need to think as something that adds more than support. Is the second cost of a company. So if the second cost of a company is well aligned with the activity of the organization will run faster, will run better, will use less resources. And look that I have not mentioned providers. Facility management starts within the companies. Facility management starts within the companies. And when you have decided your model, probably, not always, but 99% of the times, the best model will be use some external help. And then you need to go outside, and then you need to look at good service providers that will help you to solve your problems. But you always start doing facility management inside of your company. And then you have to look for the best help. Facility management is not outsourced. You want to do facility management, you outsource. That's not the sequence. The sequence is you do facility management, you check what do you want, check what the company gives you, you make a model, and then you make sure that you provide the services. And as I said, most of the times, the best solution is to outsource. So this is my presentation. Thank you very much.